me now. Sorry about the delay. This is Dr. Mahir Tana, and I have been working with cancer patients from as a dentist for the past year. And the purpose of this live session is to educate and create awareness among patients as to the role of a dentist in oncology patients, how we support the oncologist in their treatment so that we can ensure a good quality of life. So the role of a dentist depends upon the treatment plan which is advised for the patient. For example, there are patients who have cancers in the head and neck and they undergo head and neck radiation for the same. So in such a case, what a dentist does is a thorough, complete evaluation both clinically and radiographically is done. So what are the things we look for clinically is any plaque, any deposits, any pit and fissures which need sealing prior to the procedure, and any cavities which can be restored either by fillings or any root canal which can be done. Now, some teeth have pulpitis which cannot be effectively and successfully restored, which needs to be extracted. Similarly, periodontally weak teeth also needs to be extracted, and this has to be done before the patient is taken for head and neck radiation. We follow a similar protocol for patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, especially when they are taking bisphosphonates. Also, patients who are going for bone marrow transplant, all of them. And there is something called as fluoride therapy also, which is done for patients who have, when the teeth show signs of demineralization, when the teeth show signs of fracture or cervical abrasions. Cervical abrasion means sometimes between your teeth and your gums, you can find small saucer-shaped defects which needs to be filled. So for such patients, what is the need for a dental clearance prior to the treatment? Why should we do this dental treatment before receiving radiation or chemo, and why not after that? The reason is when post radiation, what happens is there is a delayed wound healing. So if we remove teeth after radiation, it might eventually long term may lead to osteoradionecrosis. A similar scenario wherein post chemo, the immune system of the patient will be compromised. Similarly, post BMT also. So in that case, it might lead to osteonecrosis of the jaw, in which the patient might end up losing the jaw. So in order to prevent all this is why it is necessary to do the treatment much before radiation. Now, some of the patients also receive surgery when they have cancers or tumors in the head and neck region, which the surgery might involve a maxillectomy or mandibulectomy. Now, post this, how are we going to ensure the patient to have a good quality of life? In this situation, what we do is we can provide them with maxillofacial prosthesis. Prior to the surgery, we make impressions, and after the surgery is done, we provide them with plates or so that they can chew and continue maintaining their good quality of life. Now, now how many times does a patient needs to come to the dentist to see them? Before the treatment starts, then during the treatment, and once the treatment is completed, and regularly the patient is required to meet with the dentist every 2 months or 3 months so that they can have a checkup. Okay. So, what is the need to come regularly? Post the treatment after radiation, there are certain side effects in the oral cavity due to radiation or chemo. Number one is radiation caries. In this, what happens is the teeth at the region where the teeth is meeting the gums, they small saucer-shaped cavities start getting formed. This is primarily because the tooth gets demineralized, enamel becomes very brittle, it's more prone to breakage. So if the patient comes to us very frequently, regularly, in this situation, we can prevent the teeth from being extracted in future by giving fillings when it is necessary. Or else, in future, the tooth should be extracted, which is a contradiction post radiation. Also, if there are any new lesions, we can pick it up and refer the patient to the particular oncologist. Sometimes post radiations, patients end up with trismus, which is reduced mouth opening. So we can teach them exercises, we can educate them about that. Now, about fluoride therapy is something that we have found which is very useful for patients receiving radiation, because once they receive radiation or some chemotherapy, it changes the salivary composition. It leads to mucositis and the secretion of saliva in the patients become reduced. This leads to something called as xerostomia or dry mouth. And once this happens, it will automatically change the oral microflora in the mouth, which will lead to more caries being produced in the tooth. So in this situation, fluoride is a remineralizing material which can be applied on the tooth surfaces. It can be applied on an office setup, that is the dentist doing to the patient. It can also be done in a home setup after receiving the do's and don'ts of what to do. I think I've given you a brief introduction. Now, if there are any questions, you can ask me in the comments and I'll be ready to answer them. Yes, Shraddha Shah has asked me, is fluoride treatment helpful? Yes, we have found that it is actually very helpful. On on a regular basis, we at least recommend we pick out patients who have tendency of demineralizing teeth and we provide it to them. Patients who cannot travel very frequently, in that case, we teach them how to do it. There are also prefabricated fluoride trays, so they can do it regularly at home. And they can also supplement it with fluoride toothpaste and fluoride mouthwash. This will arrest or stop the tendency or reduce or reverse the tendency of caries formation. So, how long before radiation or chemo should dental treatment be completed? Sakshi has asked this question. Hi, Sakshi. Um, your initial visit to the dentist should be much before you start your radiation and chemo. And if you're doing any non surgical procedure, then it can be completed 1 or 2 days before taking up the treatment. By non surgical procedure, I mean basic dental treatments like removal of plaque, by which we do by scaling, and we can sealing of pit and fissures. Those are like small holes or cracks in the surface of the teeth which might become caries in future, which we use special materials to seal them, and basic fillings or root canal treatments. But anything which is a surgical procedure, for example removal of tooth, needs sufficient wound healing. So we would recommend at least 5 to 7 days prior to starting radiation to finish this treatment of a surgical treatment when it comes to dental. So yes, Vaishnavi has asked me, can removed teeth be replaced? Yes, it can, provided how post the treatment your mouth opening is, and also depending on your blood counts and everything. Post radiation, you will have to wait for a minimum of at least 1 year to take a replacement. Now again, replacement of teeth can be of two types, as you all know. Like one can be a temporary removal option, the other is a fixed option. In fixed option, we have something called as implants. So to do implants, we have to wait for a considerable amount of time in order to prevent osteoradionecrosis. So okay, so Pushpu has asked me, how long does the treatment take? So once you come to us, the evaluation will take us about a day's time, half a day's time, in which we have to examine you clinically and then do a radiograph and see the status, periodontium status in the radiograph also. And then we can plan for the treatment. And in a maximum of 2 to 3 days, any pre-radiation or pre-chemo or pre-BMT procedures can be completed. So how to take care of my teeth? What you need to do is fluoridated toothpaste. You will be prescribed a which you can use regularly. You can also use a betadine different from the regular people, so that you do not lead to or also similar patients who have their primary cancers or lesions in their oral cavity and they cannot take up under general anesthesia or something called as conscious sedation, etc.